5 free winners for Saturday coming right up. Got a bunch of soccer, and why wouldn't I? Number one at WagerTalk of all soccer releases the last 365 days. Plus, we've got some MLB and the NBA playoffs as well. Reminder, smash that like button when you agree with me on these plays, and I know you will. Let's start our whip around Europe in Germany, where we've got a fixture involving two top four sides in the Bundesliga. Eintracht Frankfurt is hosting RB Leipzig, 12:30 Eastern on ESPN+. Bettors have come in on Eintracht Frankfurt here. They've moved from plus 125 to closer to even money on the three-way line. I happen to agree with the move. Leipzig, a bit overrated, going by expected points and expected goal difference. Those are the two key metrics I always look at when handicapping soccer. Leipzig were also fortunate to earn a draw last week against relegation-threatened Holstein Kiel, thanks to a late penalty. Meanwhile, this is a big revenge spot for Eintracht Frankfurt, who not only lost the reverse to Leipzig, the first league meeting back in December, but also lost to them 3-0 in the DFB Pokal 11 days earlier. That's the German Cup. At home, Frankfurt have won 3 of their last 4 matches. Leipzig, on the other hand, just one win their last 10 away matches. Half of those saw them fail to even score a goal. So I think Frankfurt wins here, gets all 3 points. Next, I'm going to talk about the FA Cup semifinals over in England, 12:15 Eastern on ESPN+. Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. Winner here moves on to Wembley next month to meet the winner of tomorrow's second semifinal between Manchester City and Nottingham Forest. I like Villa and Palace to go over 2.5. Reason being, Villa, they've conceded 13 goals the last 4 times they've faced Palace. But on the bright side, Unai Emery's side comes in having scored multiple goals in 4 of their last 5 against Premier League competition. Of course, Villa did just lose Tuesday, 2-1 at Manchester City. Thanks to all of you who joined me for a 4% best bet on City in that one. But here we're going over 2.5. I think there should be no shortage of goals in this first FA Cup semi. Last 5 times Aston Villa and Crystal Palace have met, there have been 3 or more goals scored every single time. Last soccer play, I promise, is the Copa del Rey Final between Barcelona and Real Madrid, 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Cloud of controversy hanging over this final, as there were some rumors that Real Madrid might protest, not even play the match, due to some comments made by the referees, which suggested Los Blancos complain a little too much. On top of that, Kylian Mbappe, he's not going to be in the starting 11, as he's been deemed unfit. I think all signs point to Barcelona winning here, even though you can get them plus 131 on the three-way line after opening plus 112. That doesn't really match with a lot of the news coming out surrounding this match. But bottom line, in my mind, Barcelona's been the best team in Spain all season. I think they prove it on Saturday. Bet them on the three-way line. All right, earlier I mentioned I'm number 1 in soccer the last 365 days at WagerTalk.com. It's not easy beating soccer, but I am proud to be plus 41.1 units over the last year, including 3 0-1 since Sunday. At this point, you've probably missed my 2 early Saturday plays, but I'll be back Sunday with 2 more. WT.buzz/BP. Also consider a 7-day soccer subscription. It's just $59. Let's talk about MLB. Phillies Cubs, 4:05 Eastern on Fox. Total here is 7, so you know the wind is going to be blowing in at Wrigley this afternoon. Yesterday's game saw the Cubs win 4-0, of course. I told you to back them right here on the Power 5. Today I'm going to tell you to bet the under. I know that may be a little scary with the total this low, and the Cubs being number 1 in all of MLB in scoring. Plus, you got the 2 shaky bullpens I talked about yesterday. However, you also have Jesus Luzardo starting for the Phillies. Number 3 in FIP, 1.95. That is a fantastic number. Luzardo has allowed only 8 runs in 30 and a third innings pitched this season for the Cubs. Ben Brown, he's looked pretty sharp his last 2 starts as well. So under 7 is the call here. Lastly, I'm going to hit the NBA. Nuggets Clippers, 6 p.m. Eastern on TNT. This is pretty much a must-win game for the Nuggets, isn't it, guys? They're down 2-1 in this best-of-7 series. Of course, they were just blown out by 34 points in Game 3. Truth be told, Denver's pretty fortunate not to be down 3-0 in this series. They trailed most of the way in Game 1 before winning in overtime. I'm going to bet Nikola Jokic to have a big game tonight, over 27.5 points. He's averaged 26 in the first 3, scoring 29, 26, and 23. I just think Jokic looks to put Denver on his back here. Only 30 field goal attempts the past 2 games after 24 in Game 1. He can't afford to hold back any longer. Jokic over 27.5 points for Denver. Time to recap the Power 5 here for Saturday. There was a lot of soccer, and we like Eintracht Frankfurt on the three-way line against RB Leipzig. In the FA Cup semis, we like Aston Villa, Crystal Palace over 2.5. In the Copa del Rey Final, I like Barcelona to get the job done inside 90 minutes plus stoppage time and beat Real Madrid to earn a piece of hardware. Major League Baseball, Phillies Cubs under 7. NBA, Nikola Jokic over 27.5 points for Denver. Reminder to comment down below with your thoughts on those plays. Also, let me know who you're betting on Saturday as well. I always enjoy reading that. For all my premium selections, of course, you head over to WT.buzz/BP. Do that after you've hit that like button. I did end up just 1-1 overall on Friday. One in the NBA with the Bucks. Unfortunately, in MLB, we had a couple rainouts, and the one play we were left with, under in Reds Rockies, well, that was dead on arrival. Nevertheless, still on an 82-57 all sports run. Very good, plus 61.3 units since February 19th. Nobody hotter, in fact, during that time than yours truly. That is going to do it for the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you have clicked subscribe. I'm going to be back Sunday with another edition of the Power 5. Until then, let's cash some tickets.